Hey guys, I'm making a tutorial on how to create custom items directly from your mobile device. For this tutorial, I'll be using an application called Minecraft Addons Maker. The reason I'm not using Bridge for this tutorial is because most of the people that watch my tutorials are using a mobile device to try to make add-ons. And Bridge wasn't really made to be used on a mobile device. It is compatible with mobile devices, but it is a lot more limited in a mobile device. But there's a lot of things that you cannot do inside of this application that you are able to do in Bridge. So unless the tutorial requires me to use Bridge, I will be using Minecraft Addons Maker. And let me show you an example of the items that I made using this application. So the first one I made was this heart. Once I activate this heart, this one gives me jump boost and slow falling. The second heart I made, this one gives me full diamond armor. It gives me a sword, and it also gives me some potion effects. It gave me strength, jump boost, and slow falling. And the third heart that I made using this application, this one gives me full netherite armor, a netherite sword, and it also gives me all these potion effects. And all of this is very easy to do. Let me show you how to create your own custom items. So the first thing you want to do is open up the Play Store. Once you have this open, you want to look for this application, which is called Addons Maker from Minecraft Pocket Edition. And once you have that installed, just click open. Once you have this application open, then you just want to click on this plus sign here. And you want to add an item, so you just go down and look for this one that says items. It will look like a blue ender pearl. Just click on this one. And the first option it's going to give you is to give your item an ID. So you just want to remove all of this. And first you want to put a namespace. Since it's just going to be a tutorial, I'm just going to call it TUT. I'm going to use TUT as my namespace, but you can put whatever you want there. I usually also just put my name as my namespace. So once you give it a namespace, then you want to give your item a name. So here I'm just going to call it heart. And since I'm going to make more than one, I'm just going to put heart 1. And something I want to mention is for the ID, if you don't want to use any uppercase letters, because if you use an uppercase letter here, whenever you use this ID, you're gonna have to use an uppercase letter, and sometimes it's just difficult to remember that. So I would recommend not using any uppercase. Also, if you're gonna use a space, instead of using a space, just put an underscore. So here, I just called it heart 1, and then here where it says name, this is the name that's gonna show up inside of the game. And this application also allows you to change the color of the text from here, so you could just choose any color. So if I wanted the color to be yellow, you could just click on that and then just type in the name. So for the first one, I'm just gonna call it levitation heart, since I'm just gonna make this one allow you to levitate. So here I'm just gonna call it like this, but you can call this whatever you want. And here was this texture. This is where you could choose a texture for your item. So here I'm just gonna, you can either choose one that they have by default. They have some free ones, but they also do have some paid premium skins that you can use for your item, but you could also make your own. Or if you wanted to use your own image that you have, you can click your recess memory and choose your own image. But here I'm just going to choose this one. And then to it, you could also edit the texture directly from this app. So you can click your recess edit. And if you go up here where this pencil is, here it will let you choose your texture size. You could choose the bigger the size, the more detail you'll be able to give your texture. Oh, but I would recommend not using the higher textures. If your texture has too much resolution, it could cause a lot of lag inside of the game. So I would recommend either using the 16 or the 32. I wouldn't recommend going any higher than this, but it's up to you. You can use whatever you want. So I'm just gonna leave it at 16. And here it gives you a few different tools so you could edit your texture. So you could just there's an eraser here. There's also a paintbrush, and here you could also choose whatever color you want. You could adjust this to whatever color you like. But here I'm just gonna draw a heart. I'm not very good at making textures, so this might not look too good. But let me just give you a quick sample. So since I'm gonna be making custom hearts, I'm just gonna draw one. And there is also a paint bucket option, so you click on this one, and then this just used to fill it in a lot quicker. And once you've created your texture, you can just click up here and save it. And the next option is if you want to use a 3D model for your item. So you could turn this on if you want. And this will add a default 3D model, and you could edit it or change it here. Change the model and the animation, but I'm not going to be using a 3D model, so I'm just going to turn that off. And then where it says MC version 1.16.100, this means that it's just gonna, the minimum version that it's gonna require is this 1.16.100. If you want your items to use commands, you have to have this on, because it does require this version for your items to use commands. And then here where it says fuel, this is if you wanted your item to burn inside of like a furnace. So if you wanted your item to be able to burn, you could just turn this on. and then this is the amount of seconds that it will be burning for, but I don't want it to burn, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And then here where it says use the function, this is what's gonna allow you to use commands. So you just want to go here where it says functions and go on the right side where it says edit. And to add a new function, you just want to click up here on this plus sign, and then you want to give your function a name. I'm just gonna call it example1. That's just the name of my function. And then down here, here you can type in as many commands as you want inside of the function file. If you didn't know, function files can hold up to 10,000 commands that you can use from one function file. So just an example, if I wanted to give myself diamonds, I could do give and then add s, because that would be the person that's holding the item. Or you could also do add a, which would be all players, or add e, which would be all entities. But here I just wanted to affect the person that's holding the item. And then I want this one to give the player a diamond. I wanted to give him 10 diamonds. And then if you want to add another command, you just want to go down and then just type another command. So for this one, I'm going to have it give a potion effect. So I'm going to put effect and then add s and then levitation. And then the amount of seconds that the effect's going to last. So 3 seconds. And then the amplifier, I'm just going to put 3. And then true or false. If you put true, it will not show the particle effects. And if you type in false, this means it will show the particle effects. But here I'm just gonna leave it as true, so it doesn't show the particle effects. And for this one, these are all the commands that I'm gonna add. So then you just want to click here where it says save. Once you added all the commands that you want, and then just click on the function you wanted to add, and then click OK. So now, whenever you use this item, it's gonna use this function file. And then here where it says shot delays, this is how long you have to wait before you use it. So for this one, I'm just going to put 3. So it waits 3 seconds before I can use it again. You can put whatever you want there. And then hand equipped, if you wanted to hold it at like a sword, if you want to turn this on, I'm just going to leave this off. And here where it says foil, this is if you wanted to shine, like if it was enchanted. So if you wanted to be shining, you could just turn this on. I'm gonna turn that on right now. And then in here where it says stack, this is how many you could stack. I wanted to only stack by 1. Or you could change this to maximum of 64, I think. But here I'm just gonna leave it as 1. The next option is here's where it says crafting. This if you wanted to have a crafting recipe. If you don't want to have a crafting recipe, you could turn this off. But I'm gonna add a crafting recipe for this. And then here, this will be, you could just tap any of these squares and make your recipe however you want. So if I wanted this one to be crafted with dirt, I could just click on the dirt, or you could do whatever recipe you want. So, but here I'm just gonna have it craft with only 1 dirt, and then just save it. So this item would be done already. And if you wanted to add another item, you could just do the same thing again. Just click the plus sign, and then go down here where it says items. And then here, just give your item a namespace and the name. So here, I'm going to do the same thing again. For the namespace, I'm just going to be using TOT. And this is going to be heart 2. But you can call this whatever you want. And for the name here, I'm just going to call it strength. And then heart, but you could call this whatever you like. And then you could adjust the texture. You could either choose one of the textures that's already created, or you can create your own. So here, I'm just going to create another texture. And then the same thing again, if you want to use a 3D model, the version number, you could just, I would recommend leaving that on. If you want it to be used as fuel, and here I'm just gonna have it use other functions. So I'm just gonna turn this on, and then here where it says function, I'm just gonna click edit and create a new function. And here I'm just gonna call this example2. And for this one, we're gonna have it give it emerald. So I'm gonna put give, and then add is, and then emeralds. And then how many emeralds I want to give. I'm gonna have this one give 20 emeralds. And this one's gonna give the strength effect. So here I'm just gonna type effect, and then add is, and then strength. And then how many seconds I want this to last. So I'm gonna have this last 30 seconds with an amplifier of 5. And then true, so it does not show the particle effects. Another thing that you can do is you can have it show a message. So you could put title, and then add s, and then title again. And then you could type whatever message you want to say. So here I could type in, I'm just going to type a random message. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that all the commands inside of a function file will start from the top and go from the bottom. So first it's going to give the player an emerald, and then it's going to give it the effect, and then it's going to do a title command. And another thing that you could do is if you want the item to disappear once you use it, you could do a clear command. So you could do clear, and then the person you wanted to clear So here I wanted to clear from the person that's holding it, and then the name of the item here. First you put the namespace. I use TUT as my namespace, and then the name of the item. I called it heart and then _2. But yours will be different depending what you called it. And then the data value, which will just be 0. And then the amount of items you wanted to clear from this player. So here I just wanted to clear 1 item. So I just put a 1 here. And then you can just keep adding more commands if you want, or just leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm just going to click here where it says save. And then click on the function that I wanted to add. And then click OK. So now this one's going to be using this function. And then the amount of time that the amount of delay that it's going to have to wait before you can use it again, since this one is just going to disappear as soon as I use it, I'm just going to leave it at 1. And then if you want it to be hand equipped or not, so you could turn that on or off however you like. And foil if you wanted to shine like if it was enchanted. And then the amount you want them to be able to be stacked, I just wanted to be stacked by 1. And if you wanted to have a crafting recipe, and then for this one, I just want the recipe to be 1 oak plank. So once you have all that selected, you can just click here where it says save. And then to import this into your game, you just want to click here where it says export. And this is going to be the default image that your add-on uses, but you could change that. But the image that you use does have to be in a PNG format. If you want to change the image, just make sure it's in a PNG format. And then the other option is you want to give your add-on a name. So here I'm just going to call it custom and then hearts, but you can call this whatever you want. I just made custom hearts, so this is what I'm calling it. And then the author. So here, just put your name. So here I'm just gonna put my name. But you can just type in your name there, and then a description. You could give a description about your add-on here, or you could put whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Here you should just type in created by Boney162, but you could type in whatever you want there. It doesn't really matter. Here where it says dependencies resource and dependencies behavior, I would recommend turning these on. This will make it so whenever you activate the behavior pack, it's gonna automatically activate the resource pack, or the other way around. And it's also gonna give them a message if they're missing the resource pack or the behavior pack, that it does require it. Since the custom items use the behavior pack and resource pack, I would recommend turning these two on. And then here where it says minimum engine version, it's just so the minimum version that they need to have is 1.16. I would also turn this on. And then the version of your add-on, you could just leave it like that. And once you finish all of that, you could just click OK. And to install this add-on into your game, you could just click here where it says import to Minecraft. So you could just click on this, and this will install it into your game. So once this finishes installing the behavior pack and the resource pack, you just want to click here where it says play, and then you want to activate your add-on into a new world or a world that already existed. So here I'm just going to do it on a new world. And for the custom items, you want to make sure you have the holiday creator features turned on. You want to make sure you at least have that on. And if it's not working, you can turn on the other experimental settings. And I would also recommend turning on cheats, but that's up to you. And then you want to go to your behavior pack, and you want to just want to activate it. Once you activate the behavior pack, the resource pack should be activated automatically, but if it's not, then just want to activate it, and then just want to create your world or load it. And once your game loads, you got two different options. You can either use the custom recipes that you made. So here for mine, one of the recipes that I used was just a dirt block. So here I could get the hard ones. I put that here, and the other recipe that I made was just using 1 oak plank. And here I got the second heart. You could also use the give command, so you could do give and then add s or add p, whatever you like. And then you put your namespace. So here as my namespace, I use TUT, and then the name of your item. So here you could just give yourself the items using this command, but yours will be different depending what you called it. And the first item that I made was this levitation heart. So if I use this one gives me levitation. And this one doesn't disappear because I didn't make this one be able to disappear. And then this one, this is the strength heart. This one will give me strength. It gives me a message, and then it disappears. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to create these custom items using this application. If you guys have any problems or any issues, just let me know and I will help you. Or if you guys want to know how to create anything else, just let me know.